This video is brought to you by Wondershare.
It's been like 3 years since the iPad Pro changed from the ground up. And, I don't expect Apple to change their products dramatically every year, but, I think it's fair to say that the 2022 model better be good or better be different with regard to its hardware and or software. And that's why I thought I would ask you, the viewer, who I assume is interested in this product category, what you expect or what you want from a future iPad Pro. And I'll kind of rhetorically answer some of these questions as well, but let me just jump into it here. I'm gonna open up a Google Doc. All right, so question one, does the product design need to change? I mean, this thing still looks sexy. It's thin, it's light. I mean, what more could you ask? I mean, really, in my head, I want the bezels to become thinner. Other than that, I'm very happy with the way this product looks, and it makes perfect sense as to why they haven't changed it. But let me know in the comments, do you think they should round the corners? Is there any fundamental difference that you'd like to see? Or would you like to see them improve on this or add anything? My next question has to do with the 11-inch model specifically, which did not receive the same mini LED display that the 12.9-inch did. Does this form factor deserve that display, or does this form factor deserve to exist at all? And my answer to that question is yes, it does deserve it, because this is the perfect size iPad. It took me a while to realize this, but the 12.9-inch is really, really big. Even with the newer 2018 design, which made it a lot more compact compared to the second gen and first gen iPad Pros, which were like huge. But this form factor is the sweet spot. It's sort of like the iPhone XR or the iPhone 13, the 6.1-inch display. That's the model that most people buy, and that's why the iPad Air and the iPad 10.2-inch are this size, because most people don't want that big display. It's more of a niche thing. But yeah, I really hope that Apple continues to put the best stuff into this tablet, because I personally love it. And it's the most comfortable for me to use personally. But you let me know in the comments. Like I said, this is sort of an open discussion. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think. So any comments are greatly appreciated. My next question is, would you be mad if Apple threw in the M1 again? And I would say, for me, yes, because it's like, oh, if you buy a new product, you'd expect it to be a bit faster. But let's remember, the M1 chip is not being utilized the same way it is in a Mac. I mean, I talked about this all last year. I moaned about it when, WWDC didn't give us Final Cut Pro and, more Apple first-party apps that can really make use of the hardware. And I think that third-party developers are making apps to take more advantage of the RAM and the processor, but still though, it's a little overpowered in the iPad. So me personally, if I saw a redesigned iPad with better software, whatever, if there was enough different with it with the same chip, would I be that upset? Probably not. But I do hope that there might be like an M1 Pro option, or if there is a better option, they better back it up, or they better justify putting it in there. Because like I said, in ways, I don't think that the M1 was super justified, especially because you couldn't really make use of all of its horsepower out of the box with the app offering on the App Store. But, some other people like Christopher Lawley, a really good friend of mine, would argue that it's good to have the headroom. But still, if we're still yet to, achieve that headroom, then why put a new processor in? But, let me know once again. And real quick, before we continue, I have a brief message from the people that made this video possible, Wondershare and their Recover It software.
Trusted by 5 million plus users. Whether you have a Mac or PC, Recover It can recover the missing or corrupted files you need. With advanced video recovery, Recover It can repair corrupted video files, which is super amazing if you're a video creator like I am, or if you have precious video files stored on your device. You can also recover deleted videos by opening the app, choosing the drive and/or specific location your lost file was previously. Recover It will then do the rest of the work and bring up any lost video files it can find. All you have to do is check what you want and then click Recover. Right now you can get the app for 20% off using my link. Check it out in the video description if you're interested.
All right, question number 4, MagSafe, does it have a place? Do you care? Does it need to be implemented in the iPad Pro? I would argue yes, because like the MacBook Pros, you could sort of trip over a cable and, you know, sort of drag them off a table or a surface where they're charging. This device, especially because it's a lot thinner and lighter, and by the way, it's more malleable, and it has, you know, a whole glass side, which is, you know, exposed a lot, or for the most part if you're not using a case on it. So I guess what I'm saying is that it wouldn't hurt. Do we need it? I wouldn't cry if we didn't get it, but if we got it, it'd be like, neat, awesome. You know, now I won't trip over my cable and destroy my iPad in the process. So that's something to think about. Also too, it frees up a port because I'm sure Apple would keep that separate. So now you would have a data input and output and a separate charging port, and that is actually kind of inhibited some people's workflows. So that's actually a better justification of MagSafe than just, you know, using MagSafe itself for the safety reasons. But yeah, it would be a win-win in my books. So hopefully it shows up, but if it doesn't, I'm not gonna lose sleep. Question 5, should Apple's focus this year be more on hardware or software? Which then begs the question, should they release a new iPad at all? And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I am a tech reviewer. I enjoy product launches because they help my channel. You know, I have more to talk about. But from a consumer standpoint, I mean, do they need to have a new iPad? I wouldn't say 100%. I mean, some people want a newer design, maybe people want more power, but I'd argue Apple needs to catch up in terms of software optimization and first-party apps, so maybe not. So, you know, maybe we'll see a slightly better iteration or a way better iteration, but regardless, even if it's better hardware-wise, if the software doesn't match it, what's the point? You know, that was kind of the feeling that I got with the M1 chip. Like, oh great, it's a more powerful chip, but if you can't use it or use it the same way you could with like a Mac, then what's the point of having it in there? You know, but logistically, like I said, M1 and A14X are pretty much the same thing, which is what would have been in the iPad had the M1 chip not been a thing. So it is what it is, but as I said in the past, marketing just sort of messes everything up and screws with people's expectations. But you can watch other content that I posted in the past if you're more interested about learning about that, I guess. But that pushes us to our next question. If you answered software, so I just answered that. Should Apple update the iPad Pro at all? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And be honest, I don't care. I mean, it's not like we can change what they're doing at this point, and Apple is inclined to release new products because they want to make more money. But, you know, if you don't think they should make a new one, then let me know. Question 7, what are things you wish you could do with your iPad Pro that you can't do right now? I will tell you firsthand, I wish that I could plug this into an external display, and that is a software feature specifically. I would like to be able to bring this on the go, plug it into a monitor somewhere else, and just carry on my workflow because I quite like this form factor. I mean, it's a lot easier to use than a laptop, or excuse me, to carry around than a laptop. I love my MacBook Pro, I will not lie. But if I could, you know, do my schoolwork with this or just grab one device and just rely on my iPad, that would be awesome if, you know, Apple made some, you know, optimizations to iPadOS to work with a bigger monitor, not just mirror it. I hate the current 4:3 mirroring or whatever it is. It's just stupid. The UI is clunky. It's better used on the iPad, right? But if we get proper external display support, that's gonna be really exciting and might, you know, make me more inclined to use this by itself, because right now I'm more of a Mac/iPad person, which I probably will be for the foreseeable future. But yeah, I mean, that would be nice, I will say. But leave me a comment as to what you want, you know, like one feature that you think the iPad Pro should have that doesn't exist right now. And then that leads us to, I think, our final question. If you had to guarantee one feature or software or hardware aspect with a new iPad Pro, what would it be? And I, again, would say external monitor support. The bezels, you know, okay. A different design doesn't really add value, maybe, but not really. Also too, I mean, this is more of a general wish, but software optimization. If we can actually use the M1 chip to its full potential with first-party apps, that would be great. But yeah, external monitor support as a student, as a creative professional, would be wonderful. And I have a hunch that they might, you know, have that in store for WWDC. But again, I will say this, as a creator, I'm not gonna promise you anything. I don't know. I have no idea. And I don't look at the leaks and stuff because I don't think that they're all credible. I think that, leak culture is kind of about getting clicks and trying to sort of, generate hype, which isn't necessarily based in truth. And I'm not discounting leaks and rumors because a lot of them end up being true, but in all seriousness, we don't know. So we'll stay tuned. We'll have realistic expectations. I have a lot of content to share with you regardless of if Apple comes out with the new iPad Pro or if it meets our expectations software-wise. But yeah, that's some of the things I've been thinking about with regard to iPad Pro 2022. Again, let me know in the comments section what you're thinking. I'd love to hear from you. And hopefully somebody at Apple watches this video or reads our comments and makes some changes in the future. Maybe not this year because it's already too late, because Apple, of course, is already in their late stages of R&D at this point, because it takes so much preparation and planning and time, buffer to release a product. But yeah. That's all. Check out my link to Wondershare once again. Also, shout out to Paperlike. I will always plug them in my iPad videos because their accessory, their Paperlike screen protectors, are excellent. They are a feature or an accessory, you cannot live without with an iPad. I really don't enjoy writing on a just purely glossy glass display. And their screen protectors have gotten really good. It feels like paper, and if you wrote on pen and pencil or with pen and pencil in the past, you're gonna really appreciate that. So I'll leave a link to that in the having a stroke, in the video description down below. And if you buy a screen protector, it does help my channel out quite a bit. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry for my absence. I just have had a lot to do, and school is quite much, I will say. But I have a lot more content coming this month, like I said in my channel update, and yeah, I have a comparison coming too pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.